Good evening, everybody. Lovell Martin Media, with my main man Joseph Decker.
What's up, Lovell? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm awesome, man. I'm ready for the boys' Sweet 16. This should be a
Yeah,
uh, great tournament,
should
if
be.
I should say so myself. Uh, any surprises that you might see?
Well, there definitely are some, but first off, I want to ask you, man, how was the girls' state tournament? It looked pretty eventful. It looked fun. I
Uh,
seen GRC came out on top. Usually you get a winner out of Louisville. It feels like recently. Now you get one out of the 10th region toward Lexington area. Did you expect them to go into it and win it? Kind of tell me how it was for you.
um, I thought GRC had a great draw. I didn't see anybody on their side beating them. Um, I wasn't sure about Assumption because when they played Frederick Douglass earlier this year, I think the final was like 67 to 4, 67-35.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that team's kind of scary. Are they the new quote unquote Sacred Heart? That team that we need to watch out for coming out of Louisville. And man, they battled. Frederick Douglass just couldn't stop turning the ball over. Um, They turned the ball over late with the lead. I think they were up six or seven, and they just folded a little bit, you know. But those girls are young; they'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to that matchup uh, again real soon.
But yeah, I'll go back to kind of what you said about some surprises. There are, man. One of them's in your region. I didn't. I know a lot of people slept on Steve Page a lot of the year. A lot of people didn't know if they could get back without obviously Malachi Moreno. You lose Vince, you lose LJ Holman, you lose Gage, you lose basically your whole starting five. But they got it done, man. And Great Crossing being in the state tournament. I showed a lot of respect when we went on the Corner to Corner podcast on that top side of the bracket. I thought Lexington Catholic could have came out.
You
But Great Crossing shocks me, man.
you sure did. Our first guest is here, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you all to Kevin Klein, head coach Saint X. Coach, welcome in. We appreciate you having us. Uh, you look a little bit more happier now that you're not on the sideline right now.
All is good today. It's actually our first day out of the gym in quite a while. I've had a lot of film prep today. Just watched Selection Sunday. So if you're a basketball guy, today is certainly an awesome day for everybody.
All right. You're opening up against a 31 win Covington Catholic team. Defensively, what is the non-negotiables for your guys to slow their rhythm down early in the game?
That's a great question. They're very talented. They got a great backcourt. They got good length in the post. They play very hard. They play very well together. They spread you out. So, it's a tough task. It's like you can't take everything away on every possession. I think there's a few things that maybe might be more important than some of the other things when you look at what they do really well. McGillis obviously scores the ball at a high clip. He's very good in the pick and roll game. Bradshaw is very good at the mid range, and then they space it with the way Harney can shoot it. And then obviously Myrick is, golly, he's attempted over 200 threes and made over 100 and right about 50%. So just a lot of weapons when you look at it and the way they score the ball. So, when you get to postseason, I mean, on that side of the ball, defense and rebounding is something that you got to carry with you every step of the way. And was very proud of the way our guys responded in the seventh region tournament. Once we got out of the central game at home and got to Valley, we're playing a very talented team in Trinity, which was very much improved with Jaden Johnson joining the fold. And then a Ballard team that was playing their best basketball of the year, just beating Cal by 30 in the district tournament, had 90 plus points, and was scoring the ball at a very high clip. So we think we're very battle tested. Our strength of schedule has been incredible from the national, local, and the statewide teams. And hopefully that will have us well prepared for a very good Covington Catholic team.
Saint X has a deep tradition on, how do you balance that honor of history and keep this specific group focused on the 2026 mission?
You look at the history of St. X basketball, and I'm proud to say I know it probably as well as most people that have walked the hallways on Poplar Level Road. And, my senior year, 1995, we made the state tournament. It was the first time in 26 years. And then last year was the first time in 30 years. And then we get to go back to back in 365 days, which is very, very, very special. And the program has always been a winning program. The seventh region has certainly been a gauntlet throughout several decades of just the unbelievable great players from Daryl Griffith in the 80s, to Allen Houston, to all the great teams in the 90s with Mail and Ballard, and Trinity had a great run, and it's a bear to get out of that region. So we understand that we are where we wanted to be at the end of last season. We have done everything in our power, from the off season to scheduling to the places we've been, to get back to this point. And we know that those five seniors last year that were a part of getting us back to Rupp Arena really are a part of this and help set that foundation for the success of this program to continue to rise. And we've got four seniors that have 15 years of varsity experience, and then Josh is a second year varsity guy, as a sophomore, and Jordan, and second year varsity guy as well. So we do have experience, but we just got a lot of great guys that do not attack stats. They play extremely hard and well for one another, which is the foundation and the culture of our program. And we are going to be super excited. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I would expect the crowd to be extremely big for the first game of the Sweet 16, with the way Cub Cathar students and their fans travel. And our alumni base is just super excited to get back to it. So it's a tradition like no other. At the high school state tournament in Kentucky, it's very special, and our guys have grown up watching that, and now to be a part of it for 2 years in a row, we're excited to see what we can do.
Coach, I got a question for you, man. It's good to see you. It's been a little while. Congrats on winning that seventh region, Coach. You talk to any coach before going into a state tournament, they always talk about their defense and how their defense travels. You guys have been pretty consistently good on the defensive end all season, but it felt like in the end of that region tournament, it took a flip. You're holding a Ballard team to under 50 points. You're holding teams consistently to under 50 points. How confident are you in your defense going into the state tournament?
That's where it all started on October 15th with our first practice, and that's where the most of the time was spent in that practice plan, because when you get in these tough games, your offense is going to come and go, but your defense can be a steady, can be a constant. You're going to have that to win games in the postseason. So, the season is so long. We've had 77 practices. We played 33 games. So, I mean, you're looking at just 110 days right there alone of just practicing games. And you get excited for the start of the season. You get to the KOB. We had our Made Hoops games against the nationally ranked teams. You get to go to the Jordan Holiday Classic in New York City. We come back and win the LIT, and it's just like, man, these guys, they are human. As much as we try to drive them and be the same kind of machine-like robot every day, we kind of hit a little bit of a lull after the LI team was playing some, again, just very strong teams throughout the state. And then just really, I think we picked it back up, last couple weeks of the regular season. We got into that Manuel Caverna game last 2 games of regular season, took that into district and region. I think our guys have a renewed sense of urgency, which has led to just really locked in scouting reports, confidence on the defensive end. And when you have good defense, it leads to good offense, and vice versa. And we never want bad offense or shots not going in lead to defense or poor defense. We always just challenge the guys just to continue to, dig in and find a way to be tougher, maybe when that offense isn't there. And we got a lot of tools defensively with length, with athleticism. Chief and Connor set the table. They lead us in deflections. They've been 1-2 all year long, with just like a couple of deflections off. Same thing with steals. And then, Jeremiah's just so strong. Josh is just such an improved defensive player throughout his sophomore campaign. Jordan gets a lot done with his ball screen defense, ability to alter shots at the rim. And we feel like we've had the tools and ingredients to be a successful defensive team. And we are going to continue to harp on that. And it has to show up to beat a very good team like Covington Catholic on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, Coach, last year, obviously, some big time senior leadership that played big time valuable minutes. Obviously, we could talk about them, Chance, Graham, Will, or just a few of the names that kind of highlight that group. But this year, you still have some good senior leadership, but one guy that, a lot of fans and a lot of people are going to expect to see a lot out of is Josh Lindsey. Obviously, his role this year is completely different than last year in a way when it comes to playing time, defensive assignments, what he has to do on offense. How has Josh been in practice recently? Have you got to talk to him much? How does he feel going into this? I know usually he's an ultra competitor. He wants to play the best. He wants to step up. I know he's excited for this matchup. How has it been with him recently?
Oh, Josh is just, I mean, he's a special kid and he's a better young man than he is basketball player. And he's just a flat out winner. He stays in the gym, can't be in the gym enough, loves his teammates. And, he has continued to sacrifice shot attempts and stats for the betterment of the team. And he's had a 33-point game against Mail on the road. And we don't win that game without his performance that night. And then another night, it might be Jeremiah, it might be Chief, it might be Connor, it might be Jordan. Bryce Johnson's been huge off the bench. But just speaking of Josh, he is just continuing to evolve his game. Just little things from a coaching standpoint, defensive positioning, defensive closeouts, seeing both off the ball, his IQ on the offensive end, his ability to read defense when he attacks and gets under the paint or below the foul line, making winning plays. And, the videos speak for itself. A lot of people see the highlights and the dunks, and those are all great. But he's an excellent shooter. He's an excellent teammate. He's an excellent defender. And, those are the things that really help us win. And we're going to need Josh to be at his best to make a run at this thing.
Speaking of coming to Lexington, you also have a Mr. Basketball candidate. So will you be in attendance for the Mr. and Mrs. Basketball Sunday evening as well?
Wouldn't miss it. My staff will be there. My wife will be there. Some of the Jeremiah senior teammates will be there. And I mean, that's just an amazing accomplishment for an amazing young man. The hay's in the barn. I hope he's got the most votes. He obviously has his head coach's vote, and I'm not going to be on the bias side, but just to see Jeremiah's growth over 4 years. I mean, what a St. X man and a St. X family. Bernard was a freshman. His dad, when I was a senior, was a heck of a football, basketball player. But just to see Jeremiah's growth, our all-time winningest player, 105 wins and counting in the last 4 years, second on the all-time career points list behind Mike Silliman, who was U.S. Olympic captain, 3.8 GPA, National Honor Society. He's got a fan club a mile long, and he goes out of his way to watch these little kids play on the weekend when we don't have something going on in the afternoon. And I mean, he's just a man of the people. Everybody from the school nurse, administration, teachers, counselors, teammates, not one person can say something negative about Jeremiah. And that's just a testament to how his mom and dad have raised him, how he's bought into the St. X Brotherhood, and wouldn't miss Sunday for the world. And super proud of him and just can't wait to go back at it for at least another game, right? Just have a front row seat to see him do what he loves to do with teammates that he loves playing with, and then have a chance to win the state's highest individual honor is truly special. And there's no doubt he's going to do amazing things at Southern Illinois, and he'll be a member of our program forever. And he's got a huge fan in me.
Coach, I appreciate you reaching out, coming on the show. Good luck Wednesday. I'll be in attendance, and hopefully you can pull that W off.
Well, I appreciate all that you guys do to support this great game in this amazing state. And yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen our Woodford County game, and just the way you two guys get in the gym and support these kids and these teams, it's special. So thank you guys for all that you do.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
I'll be waiting for my shirt too.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, that's going to be a fun game to start off the boys' Sweet 16. I mean, you have
Absolutely.
number one, number two, 11 a.m. in the morning. You got to wake up and be ready to go. You can't sleep. Like, you waited for the moment all year, and you get to set the stage on how the boys' tournament is going to be. I can't wait. That is going to be a good game.
It's going to be great.
Unfortunately, I'm going with I'm going with St. X to start this off. I think they just have a little bit more to it than Cov Calf.
Yeah, I think right now, I'm leaning St. X a little bit as well. I think the athleticism with that they can go 1 through 5. I think Athens McGillis is a phenomenal player. And at the KOB, he kind of showed that, physicality, playing in Louisville, dealing with that level of physicality, athletes, it doesn't bother him. It doesn't speed him up too much. But he got a little tired toward the end of that Mill game they lost, which worried me a little bit. But I'm not going to sleep on Covington Catholic, though. Coach Thielen does a great job. And Braden Myrick, like you mentioned, Coach, has been a sniper all year. He's going to hit some big shots. I don't think Covington Catholic wants to play with St. X in like an 80-80 game. I don't think they want that. And obviously that's not as easy to get at Rupp Arena than, a regular season game. Usually at Rupp, we see scores go down about 10 to 15 points. But I'm leaning St. X by probably about 5 to 6 points. I think it's going to be a battle. I think this could be the state championship game. But I'm rolling with the Tigers to win this first round game.
Yeah, Dylan Scott just posted on Facebook, Cash and Myrick can carry the load. They sure can. I mean, those are two great guys. I mean, it's going to be I don't know why this isn't a primetime game. I don't even know why ESPN isn't there. That's the type of game this is going to be to start, again, the boys tournament. I mean, I don't think that I would be wrong if I went with Covington Catholic.
No.
And I said that Covington Catholic wins by 2. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be that good of a game. Yeah. You just flip a coin. And right now I'm just leaning St. X. They've just been, to me, just a little bit more consistent in the state. But Covington Catholic, I mean, they're no slouch. I mean, what are they? 31-2?
Yeah, they are.
32. I mean, they unfortunately caught Madison Central at Madison Central on the wrong night. You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, it's going to be a great ball game.
It will be. Yeah, I think I filled out about 10 brackets, man, and it's like the last one I did, I had Covington Catholic going to the state championship. So I think it's going to be a tough one. I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but I think whoever comes out of this one has a legit case to cut down the nets, on the night of March 21st. I really do think whoever makes it out can go all the way.
That game kicks everything off Wednesday. I had asked the 11th region player, Brady Orm, to tap in and join us as a guest. But unfortunately, Gray Crossan is having a team dinner this evening. We thank Brady, for, just reaching back out, saying that he wasn't going to be able to attend. And I understand that reason. So we wish them the best. They'll play later on. They'll play the last game Wednesday night versus Danville. So that'll be an interesting game as well. Coach Page just has his guys working and gelling at the right time. I have to go with Gray Crossan. They just showed me so much about how much they want to play this game, and they love this game as a team. Brady Orm stepped up. You can tell that he learned underneath Moreno. He's got good footwork. He's got a good mid-range jump shot. He even steps out and shoots the 3 from time to time. But they just play great as a team. You got T2, you have Graham Schwartz, you got Ozzy. Who am I missing? I mean, Kuntz came in big for them off the bench, played great. You got Colt Limpo. I mean, Gray Crossan has a great nucleus of kids. None of them play any other sports that I know of, so they're just always in the gym and together. So I look for Gray Crossan to win their first round matchup against Danville, and I think they'll do it easily.
Yeah. I think last year with Danville Christian, a lot of people weren't enthused to watch them because it was so heavy defensively. They had 2 6'10" guys. They sit in that like 3-2 zone, but they're a lot more talented offensively this year. And I think a big reason of that is that they only have one guy over 6'10" playing, and that's Lee Catini, who, no discredit, he is having a phenomenal year. He's averaging 18, I think 12 and 5 blocks. He's been on several D1's radars recently. He's a phenomenal player. They got a kid named Ben Michael that has been producing this year as well. just a big worry for me with them all year has been offensive consistency. You go to Rupp Arena, obviously, it's even harder to score. So, when you're struggling to score, it can be a little worrisome already. You go to that bigger stage, teams are holding it more. It's possession versus possession. That's a key word for me is possession for possession. I really like Great Crossing when it comes down to the end of it. I think they take every possession for granted. I think they are very, very smart on offense. I don't think they rush things. If they got to sit there and take 2 minutes to get a bucket, they will. They're efficient at the foul line. Brady Orem will get to the line a lot. That's a big thing as well. You look at does Brady Orem match up with Lee Tenney? Brady's footwork and just his presence down low and how smart he is and how he gets over that left shoulder. He's just so talented, and I think he could get some of the Danville Christian guys in foul trouble, which if you can knock out Lee Tenney early with him being 6'10" and kind of being their all-around leader, you could go on and make a run. I think they got guys who can make shots. I think Graham Swartz's growth from October to where we're at right now has been phenomenal. I think he's going to come in and make some shots and do some big things. It's just hard to pick against Coach Page at Rupp Arena. And honestly, if this is a second round, maybe third round, obviously, with this Great Crossing team, I'm not as confident they get by, but they're drawing the first round with Danville Christian. No discredit to Danville Christian. They're a talented team. Coach Buzzick, I think that's how you pronounce it, does a phenomenal job, but I like where Great Crossing stands right here, and I'm picking them to win by probably around 10 to 12 points. I think it's a lower scoring game, but I think they're kind of comfortable in the fourth quarter, hold it a little bit, just ooze things out, and goes on and moves on to the second round.
All right. With that being said, we're going to add in our second guest this evening. Our second guest is none other than Cooper Stone from Taylor County. Man, probably the toughest little guy out here this tournament. Man, it's a pleasure to have you join us, Cooper. How's things going?
It's good. It's good. Thank you.
Cooper, Grayson County brings a very disciplined style of play. As a leader on the floor, how do you plan to dictate the tempo and keep them from slowing the game down?
Just really getting stops and getting in transition. Like them scoring will slow us down for sure, but like on misses, we just need to like run and go because I don't really know if I know they like to score a lot, but like we probably didn't we thrive in transition, honestly.
You don't like to score a lot. I watched some games, brother. You put the ball.
I mean, yeah. we slow it down a lot though for certain teams.
Yeah. Taylor County's fans always travel well. How much does it mean to you when you look up into the stands and you see just a sea of red?
It's good, just to have all the support behind us and everything, especially traveling to Rupp because we're gonna need a lot of support there.
Joe, you
Cooper,
got
yeah, I do. Coop, talk about that fifth region tournament, man. Obviously you guys were expected to beat Thomas Nelson, but a lot of people looked against you all in that Caverna matchup. How did you guys kind of stay together? Coach Case has done a phenomenal job at keeping you guys in a positive headspace. Obviously you guys have lost some tough ranked matchups through the year, but you guys keep pushing through. You guys always look like a new, energetic team ready to go out there and win. What were some of the key things that helped pass you guys by Caverna in that second round?
Before the game, he was like, it's always talking about rebound. Like if we rebound, we win. If we keep below 60, we win. And like we didn't like go out there and we're like we're gonna score. Like we knew we had to play defense because I think we had like 7 points the first quarter, and we just couldn't find a way to score. But we knew if we stopped on defense that we would have a way better chance. So game plan was probably let them shoot a little more as like they shot maybe 2 of 21 from 3, which I think is very good. And we knew we couldn't guard a man because Crane's really good guard, the Lightning, and the Twins. They're all mismatches, but yeah.
Coop, I got one more, Lovell, real quick, if you don't care. You had to deal with 2 tough matchups with 2 Division I talents, Cooper, back-to-back games. Jalen Crane at Caverna, and then you go a matchup with who a lot of people consider the best player in the state, and Carry On Berry at North Hardin. Tell me about matching up with those 2 guys. How did you step up to the matchup? How were those matchups? Give those guys some credit. But how were you able to win those matchups and get your team by?
Going in, I wasn't really planning on like scoring. I knew like they both could play defense very well. So I was just really trying to get my team involved. the first game, Crane really good defender, really quick. I think I was leading score like 12, and Bright maybe had 10 and Bryce had 10, but like I don't even really know. Just Crane's like really good defense. It's just hard, and then we went to North Hardin. Goal was try to get Barry in foul trouble because we knew without him they weren't near as good, and we tried to go at him, but he never really he don't really foul much. He didn't get four until late in the fourth, but
yeah, somebody just said you dropped 29 while being face guarded. So,
yeah.
Like I said, you're really tough, man. Proud of you. We wish you much success. Again, Taylor County is going to play at 6 p.m. on Wednesday against Grayson County. That's going to be a tough matchup, man. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on, Cooper. Good talking to you, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank y'all.
Yeah, man, that's going to be a matchup too at
It will be
6 o'clock Wednesday. Grayson County is not a slouch. I mean, they've been playing really good. They've been playing really good.
I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to be biased.
Hey, not many people had them even going this far. Yeah. I didn't for sure. Yeah. But they've really played solid basketball down the stretch. They played well as a team. So I think again that'll be a fireworks show. But don't be surprised if Taylor County just runs out.
Yeah, they could. Grayson County right now, it's hard to pick against a team that's shooting, 52% through the region in the district tournament. Like that's what they do, man. Like they want to have a track race. And, obviously, you're talking to some people around there, kind of getting the vibe, with me being from there, they obviously want to go on there and have a track meet game. But we obviously know Lovell, Rupp Arena is a completely different game. It's like everybody's game plan gets a little adjusted. It changes a little bit. You're not as comfortable as you were back at home. So obviously some things changed a little bit. Everybody kind of felt like up here if Davis County and Grayson matched up, it would be another battle, but whoever won that game would win the region. Grayson was able to beat them twice. They actually swept through the region. They went 18-0. They can shoot the ball. They can fill it up. They know what they can do offensively. But a big thing, in my opinion, is how can Jack Logston, the WKU commit, lead this team on the defensive end? And as a leader, when you go up there to Rupp Arena, somebody has to lead the huddle. Somebody has to make sure the lights don't get too bright. Somebody has to keep this team together and composed. Taylor County's very good at going on quick 7-0 runs, running some quick hitters, and getting back into a game quick. So you can't even be comfortable in a lead. I think if Jack Lawson's able to keep this team composed, lead them on both ends, he lets his emotions get into it a little bit sometimes. But if he can stay composed, rebound the ball, play like a true 6'6", 6'7" guy, and lead this team, on both ends, he doesn't have to go out and score 25 or 30 points for them to win. I think we could see Grayson County advance to the next round with some ease. But Taylor County's no slouch, man. They're like Grayson in a way. They like to run and they like to fill it up. And, we mentioned it earlier with Coach Klein, defense does travel. And Taylor County has held North Hardin and Caverna to under their averages by over 10 to 15 points, I believe. And their 1-3-1 zone has been killing teams right now. So I'm interested to see how it goes. It should be a fun game to start off that second session for Wednesday.
Like I said to Cooper, man, Taylor County travels so well.
Yeah, they do.
And when you get into Rupp, and I'm not saying that Grayson County doesn't travel well. I'm not trying to – when you get into Rupp, the atmosphere is different.
It is.
Taylor County was really loud last time I seen them inside of Rupp. So that's going to play a factor into that. How well are you going to adjust to being in the big, bright lights of Rupp Arena? Yeah. I mean, quote unquote, to a lot of people, playing at Rupp is quote unquote the mecca of basketball to a lot of people around here. So what is that going to do to a young, 15, 16 kid, and how are they going to react to that? So it's going to be an interesting game. I got to go with Taylor County. I really like the Stone kid, man. He's good. His nails, man. He was on my radar, but he wasn't as high on my radar. I hadn't bought stock the way I should have, but I watched him when he came to Lexington. I think it was the holiday, the Lexington Catholic tournament, and that kid was just all over the floor, all over, up and down. Great defense, scored. I became a fan of the young man that day.
Well, when he came on the show here about 5-10 minutes ago, you wouldn't even have been able to tell he had 30, against North Hart. He came on here talking about passing and filling it up, and that's kind of speaks to the player he is, man. He's tough as nails. He'll guard you on the other end. And here's the thing, man, this is a big game, I think, too, for just the state overall, because you got two county schools matching up in the first round. Grayson County hasn't been since 2009 with Coach Travis Johnston, who was their point guard at the time. Now he's their head coach, so a little bit of history there. And then Taylor County boys hasn't made it, and it's been a little bit since they made it last time, but their girls just made it this year, made a Final Four run. So basketball is bled in Taylor County, man. It means something special there. I expect both sides of the gym to be filled. I expect it to be a lot of orange and a lot of red. And I think it's going to be fun because they're both offensively good teams. It's county schools. I just think this game is going to be refreshing to see as a Kentucky high school basketball fan, with it being county schools and with these teams both not necessarily being expected to be here. I know Taylor County wasn't expected to be here at all. Many people had Converta and North Hardin over them, but even Grayson County was doubted, with Davis County being considered a juggernaut most of the season. So I think this is going to be a great game.
The last game for Wednesday is going to be Warren Central, 26-3, taking on North Laurel, 28-7. That'll be your 1:30 game. Coach Wes Unseld just always has his team ready to play this time of year. It's hard to go against a Warren Central team, but hey, Reese Davidson has shown when he gets the rub, he shows why people are really high on him and why he's a region player of the year. He's very hard to guard. A mismatch no matter what night it is. But again, it's an early morning game. With that being said, our next guest, none other than head coach Warren Central, Mr. Wes Unseld. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hey,
what's up?
Not much.
We just enjoying life, getting ready for Wednesday.
Me too. That's it. Getting ready.
You're facing a North Laurel team that scores at a high clip.
Yeah.
And it's at 1:30 in the morning. How do you ensure that your team is bringing the necessary energy right from the opening tip?
Yeah. Well, we got to get up and get them moving that day. And then we just got to go compete. We've been practicing around that time the last few days. And we're going to get up Tuesday morning, practice at 5:30 just to get them up and have about 24 hours off our legs, just to get used to, getting up and playing earlier.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah.
Warren Central, necessarily you.
Yeah.
Your Sweet 16 success. What is the one message you're hammering home to this specific roster about the Central way, winning in March?
And just treat it as a basketball game. We're at Rupp. There's bright lights, but we got to go play a basketball game. And once we figure that out, and all the rest of it is in the background, and then take care of itself. And then we go guard, man. One of the things we've done is really guard up there. So we got to continue to do that. And this has been one of my better defensive teams I've coached.
Defense wins championships.
Yes, it does.
Joe, you got something for Coach?
Yeah, for sure. Coach, man, I want to say big shout out to Coach Unseld. That's my uncle, man. Thanks for keeping me safe in the streets of Bowling Green.
I appreciate it.
He's the king of Bowling Green, man. It's always good to have him on your side, man. Coach, you look back last year. I don't know if you've looked back much. I know you like to kind of stay forward. But North Laurel last year, obviously winning some games in the state tournament. Reese Davidson goes out and scores 41 points against Montgomery County, leads them past Breathitt County. Knowing that he's capable of doing things like that, how much have you keyed on to that in practice? How much have you let them know the matchup they're going against? And how do you feel about matching up with a guy like Reese Davidson and how he's capable of going off for 30 to 40 points at Rupp Arena?
Man, he going to get his. Simple as that. He going to get his. We're going to try to limit what he gets, but he going to get his. He's a heck of a player. We just can't let the other guys go crazy. That's the deal. And we can't let him go, for 40. You don't want him to double his average on you. But if you can keep him around his average or a little less, and then keep the other guys from going crazy, you're gonna have a shot. He's a heck of a player. But one thing we've done is really guard. So I got faith in my guys. Maybe like I said, he gonna get his. We're not gonna stop him from getting some, but we got to kind of limit kind of the stuff he does.
You've been real avid about your defense, coach, but the offense has kind of looked a little, a little more efficient, especially in the region tournament. You score 67 against Franklin Simpson, you get yours against Barron County. You kind of knew South Warren to be a little bit of a slugfest. It had some emotions behind it. But the offense is looking good as well, too. Kind of talk about Caleb Prince and how he's emerged as a leader for this team through the region tournament. How big will he be on Wednesday if you guys want to get past this Jaguar team?
Man, he's gonna be big. He's been big for us. The thing with Caleb is he came to Central, and where he was at, all he did was score. And when he got there, and I was like, man, you're not gonna be able to just come down and shoot it every time. We're gonna teach you how to be a basketball player. And he's done a great job of adjusting. And he's also figured out, okay, I can still score. I just got to find my moments. And he done that in both the semifinals and the finals. He does a great job of getting his guys their shots, but then knowing, okay, I need to go get one. I need to go get going, And so he's getting 15, 12, 14, but he's playing on a winning team. And that's the difference, when you play on. And I told him one day, I said, what position you want to play on the next level? He said the 1. Well, I said, well, you got to stop playing like a 2 then. You got to start playing like a 1 so people see you play like a 1. So, keep breaking people down. But when there's 4 guys there, find one of them teammates that's wide open. So he's done a good job of adjusting and finding his teammates and showing people he's a really talented guy.
Anything else you got, Joe, for Coach?
Honestly, Coach, a lot of people's looking forward to that big matchup above you all on the bracket with with Covington Catholic and St. X. But, you guys have been great all season, man. You guys are still number 1 in RPI. You guys, we all know what Warren Central does when they get to the state tournament. You guys really step it up a notch. Why shouldn't teams, why shouldn't people be sleeping on you all around the state? Give your team some love, man, because a lot of people's looking past the Dragons, man. And it's okay to give your guys some love.
No, I like it, though. I prefer it that way. It reminds me of 22 when we came into the state tournament 26-3 and beat Mayo, beat Murray, beat Covington Catholic. This is the same type of group. So we hey, think less of us. Let us show you what we can get done when we get there.
Yeah.
I mean, I told somebody, I said, man, we're 5-1 against teams in the state tournament field. So we've won some big games, so we played a heck of a schedule. And we beat Ballard. We played a really good schedule. But we're in the western side of the state. I think people forget about us sometimes.
Hey, man, it's hard to catch those games time zone.
I know it, man. It's hard, but
I apologize. It's hard.
But people forget how good we've been, and I'm like, man, but that's for anybody. Like, if you look at our area, look at how many times we played in a state championship game in the last 5 years. Just not just us, Bowling Green High. 3 out of 5 years we've been in the state championship game. So it's talent down here. We get overlooked a little bit, but we're okay with that, man. We like to go and perform on the big stage.
Well, hey, I'm not gonna say I'm looking like I'm not gonna say I'm trying to project a state championship matchup or I want to see a certain matchup, but I would like to see the GRC Warren Central rivalry spice up a little bit again. And I think Josh Cook would like it too, man. I'd like to see the Cardinals and Dragons in the state championship game. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be
honest with you. I would be honest with you and say no one wants to see Warren Central. They play their defense is too.
We get after it now. We do get after it. But now, you know what? I would like that as well, just because that means we're playing on Saturday evening. So so whoever it is, I like that. I like to get there and play on Saturday evening, man. We got a tough one in that first one. We got to get by that. Luckily, we do got 8 seniors, but it's also good for our underclassmen. 7 seniors. We got 8 talented guys coming back next year, so it's good for them to get their feet wet and get them something to strive for again for the next season.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you as always.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man.
See you, Coach.
I'll see y'all soon.
Man, you want to talk about a great coach.
Oh, yeah. A pro.
Always such a great guy. Always fun to talk to him. That's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah.
So I'm That's going to be a tough
It's
pick.
tough, man, because you got a guy who is like, when they play in Rupp Arena, they turn into LeBron James and Reese Davidson. And then you got probably the best defensive team in the state. You know, how can they slow him down? So I'll say this, Lovell. I'm confident I think Butler and Hazard will be low scoring as well. But I'm confident, and I don't know, GRC is very well defensive as well. I think this will be the lowest scoring game in the first round. I'm confident in that because I think North Laurel has been very impressive defensively this year as well. You know, they held a team in their region to 15 points in a game this year. Like, they are consistently defensively heavy. But I think this could be a true 40-40 matchup, kind of similar to how North Laurel's game with Breathitt County was last year in the first round. It was slower, more defensive. But I think this will be a slugfest. There's going to be guys who foul out. There might be a flagrant. I don't know if they're going to call, but I think this is going to be – it's just going to be a physical, wore-out game. And, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Warren Central has had more of those games. I think they've kind of dealt – like he said, 5-1 in the state tournament field. Their only loss is St. X by 9 points, I believe. So I'm going to roll with Warren Central to get by. But if you don't think Reese Davidson is going to play 130%, give his absolute all because he doesn't want his career to end Wednesday. I mean, excuse me, his high school career to end Wednesday. You'd be wrong, but it's going to be a battle. I think Reese Davidson has a big game. I think Warren Central plays strong together, proves why they're the best defense in the state. But I'm going to roll with Warren Central to make another state tournament run this year.
I think one thing we can't do is overshadow Mr. Davison. And with that being said, welcome in, Mr. Davison. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Man, it's a pleasure to have you. Let's get right to it. Warren Central is a defensive powerhouse. When they try to take away your primary looks, who on that roster are you looking for to step up?
We got a few guys. I would say Cooper Elza for sure. He's a junior guard. He's always clutch down the stretch for sure. And then we got Corey Cunningham, another 6'8" kid. He's helped us a lot this postseason. So both of them guys, Jordan Rawlings, the other senior, just knocked down a few threes for us too.
I'm not going to say any names, but there's somebody on this live with us said that when you get to Rupp, you turn into LeBron James. What can we what can we expect from Mr. Davison Wednesday afternoon? 1:30 slot, so that means you got to come in ready to go.
I'm just gonna do whatever it takes to win. I mean, obviously, I had a great run last year. We did it overall as a team, but I'm just looking to do whatever I can to get the win. I'm not too worried about trying to one up myself from last year, do what I did last year. But I mean, that'd be awesome, obviously. But I'm just gonna do whatever it takes to win.
Joe?
You know, Reese, one guy you didn't mention, but I know you obviously would if you could go back, is Caden Allen. And he was a guy who's a sophomore as well. He's not as familiar around the state by some people, but seeing him in that White Greer Maggard Classic, I thought he was really good. You know, he was really big in y'all's Davis County game. You know, they put a lot of focus on you, so him being able to step up and make shots. You know, you guys have to go to sophomores a lot. You know, with Corey, with Caden, you know, how have those guys been in practice recently? How did they feel? Do you think Rupp could be a little scary to them? Do you think they're going to be all right? Do you think they're going to let nerves or maybe pressure get into it? How have they been in practice? How's Coach Valentine been getting you all ready? How do those guys look?
They look great. I think Corey for sure got a little experience at Rupp last year. I don't know about Caden, but I mean, I expect the same they've done all season. I don't expect anything less. They're looking really good in practice right now. Just trying to give them the confidence to, you know, knock down open shots and just play their game, do what they know to do.
100%. You know, you look on that other side, Reese, with that highly rated defense that they have. But you guys have not played any type of slouch of a schedule, though, this year. You guys have played very competitive basketball. You guys have played some of the other top teams in the state. You know, you guys have played the Madison Centrals, the GRCs, Marshall County, Davis County, Bryan Station. You guys have adjusted to these elite defenses. How do you feel going into this game? How do you feel maybe you guys will be able to break it down? Probably will be more of a man-to-man look. Are you confident the guys can make shots? How do you kind of feel about facing a defense with this level of respect and kind of numbers around the state?
I feel pretty good. Obviously, they're a really good team. You're not going to play an easy team from here on out. Every team you play is going to be difficult, but I feel really confident in our team. Our whole starting five, I feel like, can get a bucket at any time they want to. So just, take the open shots, do what we know to do.
Well, I got a fun question for you, not related to the Sweet 16. You got a pretty famous cousin out there.
Yeah.
1-on-1, who's winning?
I like my odds. I'll take me.
You better hope he don't see that.
I know.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Good luck. Best of luck at Rupp. We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
And congratulations on Region Player of the Year as well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good seeing you, Reese. Excited to see you this week, man. Good luck Sunday as well, after the state tournament, the Mr. Basketball event.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good talking to you, man.
Man, that's gonna be a great matchup, man.
Does he beat Reed in a 1v1? Reed might hit 7 straight threes. Look, I'm not trying to go all on Reed's side, man.
I don't know if he can keep up with Reed on the outside, but Reed can't go inside either. You know what I mean?
If I'm Reed, I'm catching the ball on top of the key every time he inbound, and I'm shooting. I'm making my 7 threes, and we're getting out of there.
Reed Shepherd's been having a great year, so you can tell the bloodlines run really well. Because he's a phenomenal young man.
I think Kentucky. I think I want to show. We'll talk about it again probably, but talk about Kentucky athletes, around the country right now, man. You look at what Reed's doing at the next level. He'll be a favorite for most improved player of the year, averaging 14 points a game for the Rockets. Then Travis Perry was with Ole Miss, these last few games, helping them make that what they attempted to be a Cinderella run to get into the tournament. A lot of people. And I think Shane Buttrey, Turner Buttrey's dad, put out a tweet the other day, and it said, you'll always kind of be able to tell when a Kentucky player's on the floor because they're an example of the coach. They play hard, they knock down shots, and they play the right way. A lot of people give Kentucky a little bit of crap, say you got to get out of here, you got to go prep school. We got a lot of homegrown kids who stayed in the state, played in the KHSAA, making a lot of noise at the next level. And, hey, Reed Shepherd he's the ultimate guy. He's the ultimate person to bring up when you're talking about that. So just got to show some love to those guys and girls as well around the state who's making, noise at the next level in the pros.
Just a small little recap. So Wednesday morning at 11 a.m., we have St. X versus Covington Catholic. At 1:30, we have Warren Central versus North Laurel. That's the morning session. The evening session that starts at 6 p.m., you got Taylor County versus Grayson County. Then at 8:30, you'll have Great Crossing versus Danville. Then we move into Thursday morning. Let's start with Thursday afternoon. At 1:30, we'll have Boyd County versus Marshall County. That's a really big matchup. I think to me, I think that might be now that I look at it, it's not. That's going to be the second best game Thursday. I'll tell you what the first best game is in a few minutes. But that's going to be the second best game Thursday. But obviously, it'll be the best morning session game. And I only say that as I welcome in our next guest. Our next guest is none other than Mr. Jacob Spurlock from.
What's going on?
Now, this is one guy that I could also see having a good game against Reed Shepherd in a 1-on-1. We just talked to Reese Davidson about this, but I don't think Reed would want to say, "Hey, let me have a 3-point shooting contest against this guy."
How's it going over there?
Confidence in myself.
As you should.
Sure.
Hey, first off, congratulations on Region Player of the Year, Mr. Basketball candidate, well over 3,000 points in your career. Hats off to you. I enjoy watching you no matter when I get to watch you. So it means a lot to have you on. Um, with that being said, you also told me that you were at a birthday dinner. You're going to step out into the car, so we're not going to keep you too long.
Nah, y'all are good. Take as much time as you want.
You've got a tough Marshall County game Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon at 1:30. After a long season being the primary focus for opponents' defense, how are you approaching the challenge of their physicality?
Well, I've already started watching film on them the day after we beat Ashland. See how they guard other teams' best players. I really watched the McCracken games, how they guard Miles. They really, they were physical with him, trying to take him out the game. So, I think playing throughout the year, playing a lot of physical, long, athletic teams like Marshall County, I know I'll be ready for it. I just gotta keep my composure, keep moving around, making sure I'm not standing. Go get offensive rebounds, stuff like that. Be a great screener as well.
Boyd County has a ton of momentum coming in after beating Ashland. What would it mean for the community to advance in the first round Thursday? What's it going to mean for you guys?
Well, being a kid from Boyd County, we ain't been the Rupp since 2018. I was in elementary school. So, just for the community, for us getting this win in the first round, I think it'd mean a lot to everybody because I have a really good feeling the whole Boyd County will be there on Thursday. But, meeting the guys, we know how much basketball means at Boyd County, how much, a big win like that in the first round would mean to them. So, we're going to do whatever it takes to, get that first round win.
You're on.
Lovell, Jacob, this was something that was said by one of our friends, one of mine and Lovell's friends, Clark Howell. We talked about this on the Corner to Corner podcast. Apparently, and I'm still saying apparently because it seems unreal, apparently Marshall County, or I think it's Boyd County, is closer to Canada than Boyd County is to Marshall County. I don't know if you've been told that. It's something that got brung up. It doesn't sound real. It sounds weird, but I think we heard Mr. House say it. So this will be a crazy one, but, Jacob, I can kind of assure you that this gym will be full. Obviously 2 county schools showing up to this one. Marshall County has a huge support base, big time basketball county, same as you all. Jacob, last few years, it has been the region of Ashland. You guys have been able to battle with them, but you guys never really got to get over that hump. You guys were able to do it this year. A big part of that was due to your counterpart besides you in Malachi Payne. How big has it been playing alongside him and you guys being what you can very well debate the best 1 and 2 guard duo in the state of Kentucky? Talk about how big of a threat he's been and how much he's helped you get over the top and help this team push forward.
Well, one thing I say about Mally, I think he's the most underrated player in the state. Wherever he goes, the college is getting a real good dude, hard worker, just a great basketball player, great guy. But with Mally, the way he can just run an offense, the way he can just find dudes, he has great court vision, also knock down shots, get to the rim whenever he wants. Having somebody like that makes the game so much easier. But Mally's a really great defender as well. He's a pest on defense. He likes to guard 94 feet. So we need him to keep picking that up as well going into the state tournament. But, the past couple of weeks, he's really been playing pretty good basketball. He hasn't shot as well as he did early on in the year, but he's been taking great shots, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line a lot as well. But like I said, Mally's a really underrated kid. I feel like the state's gonna, see him play a Rupp, and it's gonna be a show for Mally.
Lovell, you got anything else?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Jacob, you talk about Mally being underrated. Gunnar Woods is very underrated. Nobody really gives him the credit that he deserves. Talk about him as a player, as a teammate.
Well, Gunnar, he's a winner. When he was at GRC, I think he was a freshman. He won a state championship. Then last year he won the region at Lawrence County down the 15th region. So he's played it rough. He knows, what it takes to get there. He knows what it feels like to play there. None of us guys do. So Gunnar, he's a competitor. He could really shoot the ball. He's an underrated rebounder as well. He has good size to him. He plays defense when he wants to. We might have to get him a little bit, but when we tell him to play defense, he can really lock up. But, Gunner, he's one of those guys as well. You let him get hot. Next thing you know, you'll look up, he has 25, 23 points, shooting very good efficiency. So, Gunner's a big part in our team as well as our success. I feel like he's going to, play really well up as well.
Got anything else, Joe?
Yeah, Jacob, you've always been pretty confident. You've always been humble at the same time, though. You've kind of known your abilities. You've known how good of a player you are. If somebody was to go back in time, maybe to your middle school self, and tell you that in your senior year you'd be playing for a state championship and then on Sunday possibly be winning Kentucky Mr. Basketball, would you believe them?
I talk about this all the time. When Coach A pulled me up in 7th grade, I just practiced with the varsity. I didn't play varsity, but I just practiced with them. Then in 8th grade, I'm starting halfway through the year. If you'd have told my 8th grade self that I would have, 3,500 points, 1,000 rebounds, playing in the Sweet 16, I would have never believed it, to be honest with you. Being the 16 regions all-time league scorer, just like that stuff never even crossed my mind playing. Yeah. I was just trying to out there having fun, doing whatever the team needs me to do. Stuff like that never even, crossed my mind being an 8th grader or 7th grader. So, it's just really cool, to actually do all these things and be in the right opportunities to, produce like I have.
Yeah, well, it's some surreal stuff, man. You got a chance. I think you already, are on the Mount Rushmore of the, some of the greatest, if not the greatest players to ever come through Eastern Kentucky, man. And you got some chances to make some more history this week, man. So I'm excited to see you up at Rupp this week. And if Lovell has anything else, I'll let him go ahead.
I'm going to say Sunday, when I walk up and meet you again, I'm going to pinch you. That way you're not dreaming. I would do it Thursday, but I don't want to mess up that shooting arm. You know what I mean? I nothing but success Thursday. Good luck. Pleasure having you.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for having me as well. Look forward to seeing you all there too.
Yes, sir, man. See you, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Man, what a great kid, man.
Facts.
I have to go with Boyd County in this first matchup. Yeah. Well, it's the second game of the opening session. We talked about it in the Corner to Corner podcast when having that kid finally get to Rupp.
Yeah.
So that a lot bigger stage can see how good he is. I think he's going to have a great showing. It's going to be tough. I really could see them making the Final Four. He has the potential with the guys around him, with Malachi Payne, and Gunnar Woods, and they're just coached good too. So I could see them making a really big run. I look forward to watching that game at 1:30 again on Thursday. Who you got?
I got Boyd, and I want to talk a little bit about Marshall County, give them some love. Coach Donahue, I think he's got him to Rupp Arena 3 out of the last 4 years. It might be 2 out of the – I know he's had him there multiple times. I know in the last 3 years they've been there twice, so he does a really good job. Marshall County, they just don't have as much firepower. And honestly, does anybody have more firepower than Boyd? I mean, they fill it up at all 5 spots, man. But Matthew Lange is a great player. A lot of people's going to need to get familiar with him quick, because I would say he'll be back here next year again. He's averaging 27 points and 6 rebounds a game for Marshall County. He's a 6'7", 2/3, gets to the free throw line really well. He's really good at getting to the line. A lot of people say Jake Feldhouse can get to the line better than anybody. Matthew Lange is really talented at drawing contact. He's smart. His dad played in the NBA, played at Vanderbilt. His dad's Dan Lange. So he's a guy that a lot of Kentucky fans will see there and be like, okay, it's a household name. We've seen that name before. But they're talented, man. They're a good team. A lot of respect to Marshall making it. Mostly everybody, I think, had McCracken beating them, myself included. So a lot of respect to them. But Boyd's got a lot of talent, man. You don't even mention Caleb Rimmer, who we've not mentioned yet, who has been a big-time transfer for them. He came from Russell. He's averaging about 9 points and 9 rebounds for them. 9 points and 6 rebounds for them a game. He's a big energy guy. He's real physical. I think he's about 6'3", 6'4", probably 220. So they've got rebounding, they've got shooting. And when you have those two and they can mesh together, have fun beating the team that averages 83 points a game, who hit 410 threes. Boyd County could come here and be a favorite, man. If they come into Rupp Arena and they make shots, they could have the whole state cheering for them. They really could. They're a likable team. A lot of people respect Jacob Spurlock and what he's done around the state. Obviously, I'm not going to speak too much because we'll get into it probably. But their second-round matchup, assuming we probably pick the same team, would be tough. It'll be a tough game. I'm excited for it. They matched up once this year. I'm not going to say too much.
With that being said, 11 a.m. Thursday morning, we have the Butler Hazard matchup, and at this time we have head coach of Hazard, Casey Huff. How you doing, Coach?
Let's go.
Doing all right?
I'm doing well, guys. How you all doing? Everybody good?
Yes, sir. We're doing really good. Coach, Butler is a very athletic, high-pressure team. What have the practices looked like this week in preparation for their guarding 94 feet?
Yeah, first and foremost, man, shout out to you guys for having giving the Mountain team some love. Appreciate the platform and having me on. It means a lot. As far as Butler goes in preparation, it's really hard to mimic that type of prep and that type of athleticism. They got a couple of ball hawks. I know when they bring a few off the bench, they get even more athletic in some areas. So we've done our best to do that, though. We've prepped really well. We've been really efficient, I feel like, with our film sessions and trying to carry that onto the court and convey what it's like in real time. So, we're going to do our due diligence. It's a tough matchup. They're very talented. I think they're very well coached, but these guys are going to be prepared for sure.
Being the first game Thursday, 11 a.m., what is the routine to make sure your guys are awake and ready for that early morning game?
Well, we've practiced 2 days, at 11. So that's the first step, is just trying to copy that and to just mimic that and get these guys used to that play time. It's different. So, we've had an opportunity to take advantage of that and try to get them in the gym earlier than usual so they can get used to that. So, the routine needs to stay the same. We're creatures of habits. We always say, repetition is the mother of all learning. Just do it right. Do it the same way every single time. So, just trying to instill in these guys, like, it's important that we have a routine, that we're taking care of ourselves up to the game, et cetera, et cetera.
Last question from me. What color is the suit you wear? I know you step out in the
hey, if I'm wearing a suit for a Thursday game in the 14th region, I'm going to have something on in referee. No, I actually, I'm not sure exactly yet. I don't want to overdo it. We might keep it light and just throw a blazer on.
Don't change nothing, Coach. Don't change nothing.
We'll have something on, man. I'm going to have something on. All right, I'm going to have something. I might even bust out the loafers for that game. I don't know. We might even get out the horse sticks for that game.
Lovell, do not just bring the video camera. We need you taking pictures, dude. We got to get some pictures, man. This is going to be great.
No doubt, man. No doubt. We're excited, dude. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get my guys up there. They deserve this opportunity and this stage, and I'm just so happy for them to have this this platform to showcase their skills, and I'm excited to be a part of it. It's just a blessing. A lot of gratitude.
Yeah. Well, Coach, first off, I want to say, obviously thanks coming on here, man. But last year, this Hazard team, they made a deep run in the region tournament. Going through the year, they were consistently one of the top teams in the state. And it kind of felt like the season was ended a little short. They lost to that Breathitt County team that ended up making it to state. Coach Al Holland, no longer at Hazard anymore, one of the greatest. You take over that job, and, success doesn't necessarily stop. You did an amazing job picking the team back up, leading them to 24-10, 16-3 in the region. A lot of teams get that new start at the head coach job at a new school, and they kind of go and try to change the schedule. They try to play some weaker competition. You said no. You played North Laurel. You played out-of-state Florida teams. You played GRC. You wanted some of the smoke. Talk about your first year here at Hazard, how good it was to you. Talk about that fan base, because the Hazard support group is amazing. And how good does it feel to take this young group of guys to Rupp Arena?
Yeah. Well, we'll start with, and I've said this several times, but I was always told in this coaching circle, never take a job where they build a statue of the previous coach. And I've done that twice. Big shoes to fill when you're talking about BB King, who epitomizes mountain basketball, and then Al Holland, who's, the GOAT to a lot of people around here. You're talking Bobby Keith, Billy Hicks, Al Holland, Billy Hicks' time at Corbin, of course. So he's up there with the best. So don't take that opportunity lightly. Those are shoes I can never fill. And I know that. And, I have to tip my hat to Al. I think these guys were seasoned because of the standard that Al set at Hazard. And, these guys have been through the gauntlet. They've played in big games. At least the vast majority of them have. Two especially that stick out to me, Seth Cottle and Tucker Johnson. And then Trace Kincaid came off the bench for him last year. But, so hats off to Al. But not anything I've taken lightly. It's been tough at times. It's always hard when you're trying to establish a new culture and things of that sort. But I do think our coaching staff has done a really good job of blending what they did before and the way that I do things, because we still have we have a couple of guys from last year's staff on with our staff. So we've blended the two, and it's just been a match made in heaven, man. I think it's a God thing. It's just been really fortunate to work with these guys, and you're only as strong and you're only as good as the people around you. And if you're the smartest dude in the room, you need to find a new room. So I've got a good room, and I've got some people that around that have really helped just kind of pull all this together. To follow up the last part of your question, the fan base is, man, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. They love to win. Just wonderful people. Now, obviously, when you're losing, you feel that too. And you got to deal with the pressure, but pressure is a privilege, and we're excited about the opportunity, and we're gonna hit it head on, and we're gonna hopefully make this community proud going forward.
100%, Coach. And just talk about Seth Cottle a little bit as well. I think he's a guy that can easily come up here to Rupp Arena and make a name for himself, and prove a lot of people just who he is. Obviously it's something we'll deal with for a long time. Sometimes those mountain guys don't get as much love and respect as they deserve. But Seth has got some attention around the state. 21 points a game this year as a senior, won that 14th region player of the year, has stood out in big games, has been consistent. How good of a talent is he? And, how good is he going to be at the next level, in your opinion?
Yeah, he definitely has the 606 curse, but that's a part of it. We do have a habit of sending guys to college, and these cats come back home, and it just is what it is. I call it like I see it, but this kid's different, and this kid's the real deal. I mean, when we say 6'5", like he's 6'5". I'm not talking about his fluffy hair he's got going on. Like the kid's 6'5", in his sneakers, and he's cerebral. His disposition on and off the court is, he's just wise beyond his years as a human being and as a hooper. He sees the game a couple of frames ahead. His mid game is filthy. If you've watched anything, like I know analytics say that's not the shot we're taking. That's the shot that kid's taking all damn day. Like he is a bucket from 15 foot. So like give him the rock there. But he's improved his 3-point shot. He's not had to showcase that a ton this year, but it's there. And he's just a joy to coach. He's a great kid, a great human being. He comes from a great family, and look, we've came this far because of Seth. This isn't me or my coaching staff. We've ridden his coattail. Players win you games. That's not just cliche. We all know it. And he's the guy that pulls the sled. And I'm just happy that, we've had the opportunity to be a part of his journey and tag along.
I love it, man. I'll let it go back to you, Lovell.
All right, Coach, I appreciate you. Thanks for everything you do. Always very welcoming, Coach. We look forward to seeing you all again Thursday morning, 11 a.m. I can't wait to see what this suit looks like. I don't care what nobody says. He might, hey, if they had an award for the best dressed coach, and hey man, I know where it's going.
Hey, Lovell, you putting pressure on me. I'm gonna have to up my game. I'm gonna have to go by the dry cleaners early. I mean, come on, man.
Hey, much success. We look forward to watching you all.
Thank you both. Thank you for what you do. I've never really gotten to a chance to speak to Joseph much, but really appreciate both of you and what you do, and good luck going forward with everything. And just thanks and God bless, and appreciate you letting me get on here, man.
Absolutely.
God bless you as well, Coach. It's been good talking to you, man. Excited to see you this week.
All right, guys. See you.
Bye. That's going to be a great matchup. We already have our next guest already in waiting. With no further ado, Mr. Brady Kirk from Lyon County. Lyon County.
Yes, sir. What's up? How y'all doing?
We're doing awesome. Lyon
Doing
County,
great, Bray.
Good.
Lyon County has the 6 p.m. game Thursday versus North Odom. Brady, Lyon County has been the talk of the state for years. Now that you're back in the spotlight against North Odom, how do you all handle the target on your back while still playing loose?
I mean, we've always been a small town team, and I feel like we've always kind of been an underdog. So I feel like we're gonna carry that chip on our shoulder, come in. I know that we're a completely different team since when we played North Odom last time. So I know we're playing a lot better. So we're gonna come in knowing that we feel like we can compete with them for sure.
You guys play a very exciting brand of basketball. How do you plan to use the space and the depth of Rupp Arena's floor to your advantage in transition?
Yeah, just giving us that little extra room to play fast, throw it up ahead, and their defensive pressure is very good. So that college floor is going to help us a lot with our spacing and their length, being able to use that against us. So that'll hopefully play in our advantage.
Yeah, Bray, it's kind of a simple question, man, but, just how good does it feel to be back to Rupp Arena? You were kind of, your earlier years of high school, you were kind of built by Rupp Arena, playing along Travis, Brady, the Rex, being able to get there. Your role wasn't as big. You still started to play big-time minutes, but now you're making it back to Rupp Arena, kind of being the guy of the team, being let, you would look to Travis for leadership. These guys are kind of looking for you to be led in this moment. How are you excited to get back here to Rupp Arena, but kind of play a new role, lead these young guys, and hopefully go get a win on Thursday? How does it feel to be back?
Yes, sir. I mean, it means everything. Last year we fell short in the last few minutes against Henderson, so it was just real good to beat them. And now this group of guys that I'm with now, we've been together since the second grade, so it really means a lot to us just playing for each other, not really just playing for personal goals or we're just playing for each other and that friendship that we got. So
if you would look, I don't know the exact number, but I would say out of y'all's last 20 games, you guys have probably won 18 of them, maybe 19. Your only loss being to that Henderson County game. You guys were able to go win the All-A. You dropped that game to Henderson, but since then you've not lost, and you've beat teams like Grayson County. You go back and beat Henderson. Was there anything that kind of changed after that game on February, against Henderson? Did the coach talk to you all? Was there maybe a little bit of a locker room change? Obviously it's only one loss out of, a 20 game, schedule, but I know sometimes, losing to them last year, they're a rival. It can maybe mess with you all a little bit. Is there anything you all talked about to get you all back in the rhythm?
It was really just a mindset thing. We kind of came in, we were playing slow, not playing our style of basketball. And you're right, we've only lost one game since that month of December, and that was to Henderson. And we've taken down teams like Verna, Marshall, Grayson, some very, very good teams. So I think we're a completely different team, and we've been playing great. So we're just going to know that coming into the state tournament.
Yeah. A lot of people knew the duo of Travis Perry and Brady Shoulders, a guard and a big guy duo who could go out there and make a lot of noise. It's back. Bray Kirk and Nolan Kaufman. Talk about Nolan a little bit. How do you guys kind of plan to go up here Thursday and play? Talk about how good it is to have a guy like that by your side. You guys are one of the best duos in the state. You go out there, score, facilitate, guard. He'll get you on the rebounds, go down and score some dirty points. Talk about that duo you have with Nolan and how big he's going to be Thursday.
Yes, sir. I mean, obviously it's a team sport. You can't do it by yourself. So having a guy that teams just can't focus on you. Having that guy that they also got to pay respect to, and I think everybody's doing that right now. Everybody's playing good right now, so I think they got to start paying respect to all of our guys. But knowing he's really good, he's a double every night type of guy. He's gonna do what you need him to do to win, and that's huge for us.
Last question. There's 16 regions in Kentucky. Only 7 region players of the year made it to Rupp, and you're one of them. Does that put any pressure on you?
Yes, sir. I mean, actually, no, sir. Like, it's just a blessing, really. Like, you got to look at that pressure. Like, it's expected out of you. Stuff is expected out of you when you get to that point. And I feel like I put in the work, and I'm trusting my game, and I'm ready for it.
Well, Brady, I look forward to seeing you again.
Yes, sir.
Again, Brady Kirk, Lyon County. They play Thursday evening at 6 p.m. versus North Odom.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. That means a lot.
Yes, sir, bro.
Yes,
Good
sir.
seeing you,
Y'all
man.
have a good one. You too.
Man, great kid.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, our last guest for the night is on. The last game of the opening round, 8:30 Thursday night, as your GRC Cardinals versus Johnson Central. We have with us Malachi Ashford.
What up?
Howdy.
What's
king.
up?
The king. What's good, my guy? How you doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good. Congratulations, Region Player of the Year.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
GRC is always known as a title contender. Closing out the first round of Thursday night is a massive stage. How do you keep the emotions in check until 8:30 that night?
I mean, just stay calm. I mean, we know how it's gonna be. A good place to play at, and just go out there. We coming to try to win it all. So just play our game.
Johnson Central is gritty, tough-nosed team. What is one of the key matchups you think will decide who moves on to the quarterfinals?
Yeah, Johnson Simpson, they pretty good. I've watched some games on them. They got a good point guard over there that's pretty good, and I just think, I mean, during state and later on in the season, the scores drop. So I mean, defense is gonna win games, and we just got to get stops. Offense will be there, but to win games and later on in the season, postseason, we just got to play defense and get stops.
Yeah. You know, Mally, for some of the people that weren't able to tune into the game, you know, you guys in Montgomery matched up again in the 10th Region Championship. In my opinion, it might not be number one, but man, it's right there, and I'm sure you think it is. You guys in Montgomery County, best rivalry in the state at times. You know, it was another great game. How were you guys able to push past them? Obviously, they got you all in the district championship. What are some things you guys were able to execute on and get that win?
In the district, we played them at Montgomery County. They was hitting shots, but also we didn't rebound good enough in the district, so we just knew in the region we had to come and rebound. They got a bunch of athletic dudes there, so we knew we had to box out, gain rebounds. All 5 of us crashed the glass, and we knew that if we rebound, that would give us a good chance to win the game.
Yeah, you know, talk about getting back to Rupp Arena, Malachi. You know, obviously when you talk about GRC, it's one of the blue bloods for basketball in Kentucky high school. Talk about getting back there. You know, obviously Josh Cook's one of the best to ever do it. Getting him back at Rupp Arena is big time. You know the noise he can make there. How does it feel to get you and your guys back at Rupp Arena and go possibly play for a state championship Saturday if you guys can win some games?
It feels good. You know, last year we lost by a buzzer beater to them, so we knew we didn't want to have that feeling again, and we just had to come in the region prepared. So we know, like, we feel like we can make a run at state as long as we all stay together and play our game, and we feel like we can make it pretty far and do big things.
Yeah, talk a little bit about your duo Montez Gay, you know, I know you guys are great friends off the court, but you guys work so well together on the floor. Talk about how big he's been for you all this season. Montez coming off multiple big-time performances. He's really kind of grew into being an upperclassman. He's had a great junior year. Kind of talk about how big he's been and how good he has to play if you guys want to kind of make a run at this thing this week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Tez, he's a real good player. I tell him all the time that in order for us to win and have a good game, we need him going and playing just with a good motor and just playing hard the whole game, rebounding, playing his game, and just guarding. We know he got to guard real good players, so he got to play defense. And then we got Jamalin and Ryder who come in, then Maury, and then we got CJ coming off the bench. That's pretty good, a sophomore. So we just know guys got to play their role and just do what we got to do.
All right. Unfortunately, y'all have a big monkey on y'all back right now. Y'all girls just showed out at Rupp. So now y'all got to go out there and show out. Otherwise, you know you're going to hear it walking around that school, right?
Yeah.
How proud are you of your young ladies?
Good. That's good. They gave us, now we feel like we got to go try to win it and just match their energy and win it just how they did.
Hey, man, what are you sitting on? Because you're not that tall.
A chair, bruh.
Hey, Mally, you my guy. I love you. I appreciate you for coming on. Good luck Thursday night. I look forward to seeing you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir. Good seeing you, Mally. Good luck this week, man.
Appreciate it.
Hey, that's one guy that I would never want to guard in my life, Lovell. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I've seen that guy cross, turn, tween, some of the best guards in the country, the best in the state. I just want to say that's the one guy I would never want to guard.
Yeah. With that being said, again, a recap for Thursday, 11 a.m. You got Butler versus Hazard at 11. At 1:30, you got Boyd County versus Marshall. 6 p.m., the second session, you have North Odom, who has Pierre, Rajon, Rondo versus Lyon County. That is going to be a heck of a matchup. Do you hear me? And then at 8:30, you have GRC versus Johnson Central. I think I am more excited about watching the 6 p.m. game Thursday than any other game in the first round. I want to see what Mr. Rondo does out there on Rupp Arena's floor.
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now, everybody's going to be in to see him. Everybody's going to be excited to see it. Everybody's going to be rooting for Rondo. But don't sleep on this Lyon County team, man. You know, I'm excited to see North too. I really think North can make a run and win this thing. Like, I really do. I think they got a good draw for the state bracket. I think they're tough. To look at what they've been through, to look at some of the losses they've had, you know, Eli Green tears his ACL. He was the one who helped lead them past St. X, you know, so they've lost guys. They've dealt with some things. They're really talented, though. They're disciplined. Coach Levitch is a really good coach. If they're able to get past North Oldham, then play Butler or Hazard, get that win, then you're in the Final Four. You'll have to play more than likely GRC or Boyd, which is a tough matchup, but it should be exciting to see, Lovell. I'm excited to see it. They played Lyon County at the White Greer Maggard Classic up in Lexington. It wasn't a fun game to watch. It was 47-37. It was a slugfest. I think there was a quarter where Lyon scored 2 points, but you know, both these teams have very good coaches, Coach David Levitch and Coach Perry. They've both been to Rupp Arena before. They both know how to win a game here. So that should be a really good game, man. And I think you said it best. People from all across the state is going to be coming in to watch Pierre Rondo because of that name he brings alongside with him. But it's not like just going to watch a kid because of his name. This dude's legit. You know, he's an 8th grader, and some people are making debates he's the best point guard in the state. So I'm excited to see it, Lovell. I think it's going to be a great game. I'd love to see them make a deep run. You know, can you imagine North Oldham cuts the nets and wins the state tournament led by Pierre Rondo as an 8th grader? It would be something like out of a movie. But it'll be exciting to see, and I'm also excited for that game.
I could be mistaken. The last 8th grader to cut down the net might have been Zion Harmon.
I believe it was, yeah.
From Bowling Green, I think at the time.
I think it was 2017.
So that'd be you know, something interesting to see.
Yeah.
I want to thank all our fans for logging in, joining
Yes,
us, watching our show. Joe, it's always a pleasure to collab with you. I appreciate everything you do, not just for me, but for Next Up Recruits. We at Next Up Recruits love you. Continue success, and hope you feel better. I heard you've been under the weather. Thanks for joining.
Hey, there's not many people I'd want to come talk to with the flu and just do an hour show with, but I really appreciated seeing you, man. Love you as well, man. You've helped me so much along this journey. Excited to see you this week at the state tournament. I know to some people we might not be as cool as some of the players out there, but if you see me or Lovell at the state tournament, come say what's up. You know, we love the fans and everybody who tunes in. At the end of the day, none of this is possible without you all. So we'd love to see some of you all, and I'm excited to see y'all at Rupp Arena. And
with you saying that, I'm charging $2 for photos.
All right, I'll give you $2 Wednesday morning. Just let me know.
All right, man.